screen yet?
Yes.
All right. So we continue with the product. And with this lesson, we were talking about the core products. We were talking about the extended product. Now, let's talk about how you develop a new product. So, the first way to develop a new product is through research. So you need to take advantage of the digital economy. You need to take advantage of the digital platforms and the tools that it brings to generate more customer insights. So digital channels provide many options for learning about product preferences, and it can be used as a relatively low-cost method of collecting marketing research, particularly when trying to discover customer perceptions of products and services. So online tools should be evaluated according to how they can be used. So I think for the past 5 years, we have seen how the products that you are using are evolving. For example, with load shedding nowadays, you guys, sample, right? Some people call it mealy rice. How long it would take for you to boil that sample so that you could have a meal, and you know that there's going to be load shedding in 2 hours and so forth. Then through research, ACE or White Star, they do research and realize that no, people actually need something that is going to be ready quick. Then you've got sample that can be cooked in 30 minutes or in 15 minutes. So you cannot just come up with a product without conducting research. The same thing with your face wash or the toiletries that you use. Think about how those products have been evolving. All of a sudden, your lotion have got sunscreen on it and stuff like that. It is being done through research. So options for performing new product development research should include online groups, the focus groups, the questionnaire surveys, social media listening. Actually, there's someone who's actually employed as a social media listener. So everywhere where the brand is mentioned, whether they are saying good or bad about the brand, you actually need to know what is it that they are saying. Though nowadays there are so many digital tools available that can be used to listen customers' comments and opinions. Then customer feedback or support forums, as well as the plugins coming from the platform that you are using, such as a website or this digital platform that you'll be using can give you the insights. For example, Facebook can give you KPIs that 1,000 people viewed this, 1,000 people shared it, and stuff like that. So you can have analytics that says something about the product that you are researching about. But this is tricky because customers are always in a hurry and they do not want to air their opinions about the product that they use. How many times, guys, have you been asked to complete a survey and you do not complete it?
Yeah, it happens because they are time consuming, so you avoid them at all costs.
Yes. And people can also say that they are boring, like you lack that motivation to complete them.
Yeah.
Which is quite sad because I asked you people to do a survey for Boston, and I know that most of you guys did not do it. What are you laughing at, Obunolo?
I'm laughing because I'm only remembering now that you asked us to do it.
You see, we are doing a research so that we could know better how to teach you guys, but you don't want to tell us where we need to improve. So it's the same thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it's something that many organizations come across. People are not interested to do the surveys. People are not interested to do this. So we have got organizations out there that are paid to conduct surveys on behalf of customers. So they are paid for surveys. For example, in South Africa, there is a survey company called Enlighten. So people are actually paid so that they can conduct a survey. So you get 20 Rand or 50 Rand per survey. So if you complete about 10 or 20 surveys, you have got money coming back to you. So I think that's one of the challenges that companies are having, and they'll be like, okay, since people find surveys boring or they don't have time to do them, let's actually give them an incentive so that they can do that survey. But it's also tricky because people actually do that survey because they want to be paid. So they won't freely air their opinion. Let's think about, let's say Huggies or Pampers is having a survey to mothers. And on that survey, the first question is you need to indicate whether you are pregnant or not, because that will determine the proximity of you to the product. By the fact that you know that you are going to be paid, you would actually click you are pregnant, yet you know very well that you are not pregnant. So it then affects the outcomes of the survey. Am I making any sense, guys?
Yes, you answer.
How many times would someone click marital status, married, because you know that this thing is going to benefit married people only? Or how many times people would suddenly become single on a platform because that thing is only benefiting single people? So there is inaccuracy in these things. People do anything uh, for something that only benefits them. So the reason why you need to do research, to conduct research about your product, is the speed of new product development. If you do not produce a new product, someone else is going to. Think about the smartphones that we are using today. Before, we had the physical keypad whereby you need to press 3 or 4 times to get a letter. I don't know if you guys used those products before, those phones. You want to type I miss you on that phone. You need to press button 4 3 times because there is GHI until you get to I. You press 0 for space. You go to 6 where there's MNO, you know? And I think that's where people ended up having shortened word, like I love you, it becomes ILUV and you know. Are you aware of those devices, guys?
Yes.
Mm. Then with time, as a result of research, we have got phones that have got physical keypads, your Blackberries and your Nokia Lumia. Now these keypads, they are no longer in form of 1 2 3 4, where you need to press the keypad 3 or 4 times to get a desired letter. Now they are in sort of a physical keyboard that we have, but you still have to press some button. Then with time, we have got touch screen, whereby you have got a digital keyboard. The same thing with cameras. Many phones, they had cameras at the back only. And whenever you are taking a selfie, you need to tilt your phone. You need to face that other side. Then you take a selfie. And as a result, you could miss your face because you cannot see. The phone is tilted. But through development, product development, we now have phones that have got cameras in front. So that's part of the speed of new product development. And if you are a manufacturer, if you don't do this, you end up being behind and you are kicked out of business, like what happened to BlackBerry and Nokia. Is it something that is resonating with you guys?
Yes, yes.
There are so many examples that you can put to it. It is not only smartphones. It can also be automobile cars. There are cars that are now, have got so much innovations, saving many fuel, having a rear view mirror or sensors and stuff like that. So digital channels give instant access to target markets and provide platforms which enable new products to be developed more rapidly, as it is possible to test new ideas and concepts and explore different products options through online market research. So there's more research that is happening in marketing, guys. Digital marketing is not only coming up with strategies or monitoring social media pages. There is actually more research that is happening so that the content that you are crafting or the strategy that you are coming up with resonate with the target audience or the target marketing that you want to communicate with. Then we have got the speed of product diffusion. In the early days of the internet, to remain competitive, organization would have to roll out new products more rapidly to international markets. A scholar, Malcolm, emphasized the weight of mouth communication on the impact of the rate adoption of new products, especially through the internet. So think about companies like Shein, Amazon, and Alibaba, how they are competing, their international markets, how they are competing with local companies like Zando, Superbelist, Takealot, and so forth. So you need to think about the speed of new product diffusion, especially if you operate in a digital space. And the moment you do not consider the product that you're offering in the digital space, it is easy to be kicked out of the competition. So there's a tipping point, of course, when it comes to the product. So the tipping point explains the three simple principles that underpin the rapid spread of ideas, products, and behaviors through a population. So we've got what we call is the law of a few. You want to buy a product because very few people are using it. I think this happens mostly to ladies when it comes to attire. You want to buy a specific attire so that when you go to church, no one else is wearing it. Or when you go to the wedding, you stand out, with that attire. So this is the law of a few. The law of a few can determine the product. Something that makes sense to you guys? But sometimes it's tricky because there are people who do not agree with the law of a few. And these people in most cases are those who do not trust something that is used by few people. That's why I would see when you are buying a product online, you want to look at the reviews. You want to look at how many people bought that product. If no one bought it, you could be the only one. That's the law of a few. But you don't trust that product because be like, if I'm the only one, what if other people hate it? Does that come to you guys when you're buying something?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I like if you're purchasing something on Take a Lot, usually I would just go and check the reviews
Mm.
to see if somebody has used it before and just to yeah, research the product before purchasing it.
Yeah, so the law of a few is actually tricky. As much as you do not want the popularity to have that product, but you still want to have some ideas about who is using it, whether they love it or not, or whether they know the risks associated with it or not. Then we've got the stickiness factor as well as the power of context. So these are the tipping points of a product and how that product is going to be positioned in the market as an element of the marketing mix. Are there any questions about lesson 65?
Sorry, sir, can you just explain the last 2 points, the stickiness and the last one?
Okay, so the stickiness factor, how much does that product stick to you as an individual? As that word says it all. So how much does it stick to you? And this is where also brand loyalty falls in. For example, you want a phone. That's a product that you want, a phone. But we've got phones with different capabilities. The other phones, they've got high pixels for cameras. The other phones, they've got this and that. So how you get that product in form of a phone is based on how much that product sticks to you or to your character or to your culture or to your identity or to things that you stand for. So some people wouldn't get specific products because those products don't stick to them. You know, I would give you an example of a crop top, right? So, some people love it, they love it, but not everyone loves it. So it doesn't stick to them. It's not like they hate it, but it doesn't stick to their character or to their personality or to who they are. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Yes, makes sense.
Okay. Then the power of context, or this one, it always makes sense. Context can be in form of timing. Like, for example, would you be selling your products, your winter products in summer? So that's a wrong context. So it has to be the right product at the right time, at the right season, at the right occasion, you know. So if it's something that is a beach wear, you cannot find it in the shop that sells stuff for wedding, because at wedding we don't wear bikinis. We wear bikinis at the beach. So that's the context. Right now, many companies are selling things that are related to load shedding, like inverters and generators, power banks, and so forth. So these people understand the power of context. The context is that there are so many power outages, and people would love to get something as a form of alternative energy. So that would be the context. Another context right now is that it's winter. Many companies will be selling blankets. Many companies, brands will be selling heaters. And we realize that the price for a heater is actually cheaper when it's being sold in summer than when it's being sold in winter. We are going to talk about this when we look at pricing, but pricing can also fall in the power of context.
Okay, clear.
Very clear, right? Okay. Are there any comments, any questions, babe? Okay, I think she's all good. So that's it about lesson 65. Lesson 66 and lesson 67, these are case studies. So they normally work when we are in class. So now we're going to move to lesson 67.